Frugality, the quality of being frugal, sparing, thrifty, prudent, saving, careful, cautious, and the list goes on. Frugal is the word some billionaires use to refer to themselves when the topic of money is being discussed. But are billionaires really frugal? Can you really be worth billions of dollars and still be a penny pincher? I'm sure you've all seen many articles and videos on the internet praising billionaires for their frugal lifestyle. Billionaires such as Warren Buffett being praised for living in the same house he purchased since ancient times, Mark Zuckerberg being glorified for wearing the same t-shirt every single day, which is not true, and Jeff Hu driving a Honda Accord when he's worth billions. And I know people love to hear stories about these penny-pinching billionaires, but are those claims actually true? Today we'll find out. Now, let's look at the billionaire Warren Buffett, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, who is worth over $108 billion, who is praised for living in a so-called modest house which he bought in 1958 for $31,500. That's what all the articles say, right? But the truth is that $31,500 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $326,000 today, and that modest house in Omaha is now worth around $877,000. And being a billionaire, Buffett spends about $300,000 a year on his personal and home security. Buffett's so-called modest house also has recent additions made to it, and it's now only a few thousand square feet short of being a mansion. Another thing articles also fail to mention is that Buffett also owned a second home, a vacation home in Laguna Beach, California, which he sold in 2005 for $5.45 million. When it comes to traveling by air, you would think that Warren Buffett, being called frugal, would be traveling in economic class, but he does not. He doesn't even travel first class. Buffett travels in his own class on his own private jet. Buffett brought his first private jet in 1986 and upgraded to a more expensive Bombardier Challenger in 1989. Buffett loves traveling by private jet so much that he even purchased a stake in NetJets, a company that boasts the world's largest business jet fleet. Next is Mark Zuckerberg, the billionaire who is said to be so frugal that he wears the same gray shirt every day and drives a Honda Fit. But in reality, those t-shirts aren't cheap like the ones at a local store. The t-shirts and hoodie that Mark Zuckerberg wears are made out of cashmere, a fiber obtained from cashmere goats. These goats produce no more than 200 to 300 grams of cashmere in a year, and is collected in the spring during the natural molting season. It takes 3 to 4 goats to make one of Zuckerberg's hoodie, and each one costing upwards of $2,000. As for his cars, Zuckerberg doesn't only own a small Honda Fit, he also owns a very expensive supercar, a $1.4 million Pagani Hyara, which I'm sure no penny pincher would consider buying due to that price tag. The next billionaire on this list is Jeff Bezos, who is said to be so frugal that he was still driving an old Honda Accord. But in addition to that Honda Accord, he also owns a $3 million Ferrari Pininfarina Sergio, a $3.4 million Bugatti Veyron Mansory, a $4 million W Motors Lincoln Hypersport, a $4.8 million Koenigsegg CCXR Trivita, and a $5 million Lamborghini Veneno, and in addition to his $41 million Dassault Falcon 900 EX private jet, and not to mention his $500 million super yacht. Oh, and I almost forgot, Jeff Bezos also spends $1 billion per year to fund his Blue Origin rocket company, which took him to low Earth orbit in 2021. Now, do you still think that the stories of the penny-pinching billionaires is still true? Based on the reality of their spending habits, I would definitely say that there is no such thing as a frugal billionaire, because as a person gets wealthier, they become susceptible to lifestyle inflation, which is when you increase your spending as your income grows. And based on what we just discussed, we can see that as billionaires' wealth increased, they started to purchase more expensive things, and some of those expenses become very necessary, such as security, because being wealthy, you will definitely need security to protect you from kidnappers and other people looking to do you harm. Billionaires will never be able to be truly frugal, as their wealth far outweighs the average person's spending power. Billionaires only try to appear frugal so that the general public will view them as good rich people and not like the rich kids of Instagram who flaunt their wealth.